So I don't know if we could consider this a week of, I guess you could put it, how do you put it, like, I guess we can consider this in both WWE and AEW a week or at least a 48 hours worth of, I guess you could say, nuclear bomb drops, if you will. Not pipe bombs, but nuclear bombs. Mainly due to the fact that on Raw, we saw the return of John Cena. And everybody's been talking about it, and pretty much they have a right to talk about it because John Cena essentially annihilated Austin Theory on the mic. I mean, he annihilated him, he filleted him, he roasted him. He essentially said, here's a golden shovel, I've dug a nice hole for you, dive right in, and Theory dove right in. Because he essentially, as people put it, buried Theory in that promo because he hit him in certain areas, where it really counts. Like, basically telling him he's like, just a couple, something like a couple matches away from being in, trunks and being a jabroni, something like, he was just a couple of things away from just being a jabroni in trunks, like a jobber, if you will. He said basically that the reason that people don't believe in Theory is because Theory doesn't believe in Theory. And then the one that really, got to the point was when he told Theory, I'd rather be because Theory decided, hey, Theory basically he tried to come back at John and said, something about the fact that, you're a bald-headed kind of person, and all that. And John's response about his baldness, little bald spots showing up, his response to that was, I'd rather be bald than having fake crowd noise piped in during my matches and segments. Yeah, he basically told Theory, I'd rather embrace the baldness that comes with age than be, I guess you could say, be boosted have my confidence boosted by having fake crowd noise pumped in during my matches and my segments. Because in reality, what John told him in this savage promo shoot, like nuclear bomb drop on him, was that Theory is not over as he thinks. That Theory is not at the level he believes he's at, because all he really is somebody that take away the sunglasses, take away the fancy suit and all that, and as he mentioned earlier on the promo, just a trunk or so away from being a regular jobber, like somebody that's brought in to help put the other talent, the established talent, over, like let's say a Drew McIntyre or a Sheamus, and somewhat. So, yeah, John basically savagely went nuclear on Austin Theory and everything. Went nuclear on Theory. Even basically mocking his name by saying, yeah, you got the coolest name, in WWE right now, making it comparable to the likes of Stone Cold, The Rock, and Undertaker and all that. But the reason he said it's a cool name is because that's what Theory is, in reality. That, he is a Theory. That in theory, he believes he's good. In theory, he feels he's a main event player. In theory, he believes he's, over with the crowd. And stuff like that. So yeah, on Monday, John basically went to town, dropped a nuclear explosion on A-Town and left it in ruins. That's what he did. But John was not alone. Tonight, Ruby Soho, after she turned heel and joined the AEW Outcast, Outsiders, whatever you call them, freelancers, of Saraya and Tony Storm, went nuclear on the AEW Women Originals, if not the AEW Originals, entirely. She went nuclear. She basically brought up the fact that when Jade Cargill beat her to become the inaugural champion, the TBS champion, that basically, no one, well, not no one, but that basically people were cheering, for that, cheering that happened. She brought up the fact that when Jamie Hayter beat Toni Storm, they were cheering, and all that. Brought up the fact that when Saraya decided to come out of retirement, that instead of embracing her because that's what they wanted, they jumped on her. They basically jumped on her in a negative way by basically going against her and stuff. So, thus this would explain why she joined them, because since day one, as she puts it, they've been considered outcasts, outsiders, and that the reason they came here is to help build or rebuild, the women's division. But how can you build something that's already broken thanks to it being entitled, practically given by Tony Khan to these entitled little shits, as she called them. I mean, she went nuclear, guys. I am not joking there. She went nuclear. Period. She went nuclear. She went off on them. And, to me, I know a lot of people are going to look at this and say, well, the reason she did that is not just to finally give an explanation as to what's been going on and all that, but to also, I guess, combatively, try to outdo the John Cena pipe bomb or nuclear bomb, if you will, that he dropped on Austin Theory. And there is some truth to that. I'm not going to deny that whatsoever. There is some truth, maybe to that. But still, Ruby Soho, dropped her nuclear bomb, tonight on Dynamite on the women's division, in AEW. 48 hours after John Cena dropped his nuclear bomb, on Austin Theory. So yeah, it looks like the competitiveness between both WWE and AEW, even though both flagship shows are on separate nights, that competitiveness is there. Because if one's going to do something like, allow, an established star, legend, like a John Cena, drop a nuclear bomb, basically rip Austin Theory, the U.S. champion, a new one, then obviously AEW is going to combat that by saying, you know what, let's have Ruby Soho do the same thing. And, while she explains her actions for joining Saraya and Toni Storm, let's have Ruby Soho do the same thing. Let's make her our answer to Cena. And you know what? I will say this. If this is an example of what to expect in the future when it comes to this competitive war between WWE and AEW, if this is what to expect in the future from a promo perspective, along with in-ring perspective, in presentation, all I could say is, as I mentioned at the beginning of the year, 2023 is going to be a year of pro wrestling resurrection. That pro wrestling is going to rise from the ashes and basically, take it to a new level, whether certain sales happen or not. But anyway, let me know what your guys' thoughts are. How did you feel about both promos in general? How did you feel about John Cena's on Austin Theories? And how did you feel about Ruby Soho's tonight on the women's division while she explained, why she joined the AEW Outcast, the freelancers, outsiders of Saraya and Toni Storm? Let me know your thoughts down below and in the live chat during the premiere. If you like the video, you will get a BW Rosas Discussions audio podcast version of this down the line, hopefully. But let me know what your thoughts are. And until next time, guys, also click on the icon on the upper left-hand corner of the screen here, the end screen, to check out the Teespring store and on everything you can find there. Also support me at Venmo at Brian-Romer-2, Cash App at BWRosas98, Vimeo at BWRosas, Patreon.com at BWRosas for the $1 or $3 tier. And until next time, guys, I will talk to you all later, but give me your thoughts.